Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Football.
Welcome in to the Inside Arkansas Football post-game show presented by our friends over at BetSaracen. I am John Neighbors alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, and we appreciate each and every one of you for making us a part of your Saturday. This Saturday, as the Arkansas Razorbacks lost to the Memphis Tigers by a final score of 32-31 there in Memphis. Nope, it's not a joke. Nope, it's not something we're making up. This is a reality. This is a reality that you're living in. Your Razorbacks dropped to 2-2, 2 straight losses, and once again lose by one possession, by 1 point. Arkansas had a chance to win, but turned it over late from a Mike Washington fumble, and that's all she wrote. We're just going to have to give our thoughts, and I know we're going to have a lot of things to get into the chat, but fellas, what do you make of this?
Revenge will be served cold by John Calipari and the boys on October 27th, and I can't wait. Listen, man, for us to have this glowing reputation as haters, we were just about the only ones who weren't throwing up a bunch of red flags going into this game. You got to admit it. Gave Arkansas the benefit of the doubt. I certainly did. I thought they were too talented. I thought Taylor Green was too good. I thought it was a good matchup for Arkansas. I thought they would have a more inspired bounce back type of effort. Learned my lesson once again. So, hey, get ready, Sam Pittman. You're going to be asked about another one-score loss here in a few minutes, buddy. And there isn't an answer in the world you can give that anybody's going to care about. This was an absolute disaster. And it was poetic that it ended by a backup quarterback coming into the game and dragging your ass 8 yards across the line of scrimmage to get that first down to ice it. Brutal. This was a disaster class, man. Absolutely brutal. Nothing to defend it.
Yeah, I want to apologize for my part in this. You know, we're not responsible for the defense. We're not responsible for the coaching staff. All I can do is take accountability for what I did. I had Arkansas winning this game 31-16. I thought they would control this game offensively, which at times they showed an ability to do. I just, as bad as the defense was, and we said it was going to be all along, make no mistake, I didn't feel like Memphis had the offense to even challenge the worst defense in the SEC. I felt like Arkansas, if they just didn't do anything stupid, would still be able to avoid losing here. I think I even said on the pregame coming in with Curtis, I said, we're not telling you this defense is going to get exposed in the SEC. This D-line and this secondary are going to be issues, but it won't be an issue on Saturday, and for that, I apologize. I didn't realize it was going to impact this literal game. You know, we talked a couple weeks ago that sometimes you don't know you're going into a game that is going to define the trajectory of your team's program, of kind of the university overall. And for a game like this, for Arkansas, not that Memphis is a program that, doesn't deserve a ton of respect and a ton of credit for what they did, but coming into this game for Arkansas, there was only one way this became a game that would define the program's trajectory overall, and they found a way to do it, man. And so you can give Memphis credit, but I don't think I need to even break the news of saying this is unacceptable. This now of officially we're having the conversations that we tried to table in the offseason and say, hey, let's just let the season play out. Let's just see how it is. And there's still a lot of ball left to be played, but you thought we were getting disrespected coming into this game. Arkansas fans in general, we don't earn the right to be disrespected by anything. You are what you say, what you do out on the field, and everyone that said everything about you, they were right, man. Josh Pate was right. The people that picked you 14th in the SEC were right. It's not about disrespect, man. You got to go out there and earn it, and this Razorback team failed at a big opportunity to do that.
I made the mistake of thinking that after that Ole Miss game and that Ole Miss loss, trying to give the benefit of the doubt to Sam Pittman and to the Arkansas Razorbacks of saying, hey, that defensive performance, it was just some bad messaging and some bad communication, and we were making it too complicated. We got to let the players just go out there and play. I chalked it up to that. I chalked it up to maybe that this team in that one possession loss record and stuff where Sam Pittman threw up his arms and said, I didn't know. What do you want me to do with that? I thought, I was like, well, hey, it's that one, or is that the same one as the other ones? Is it maybe a little bit different? I try to look at it in a new lens of being like, hey, that's the one. You should have won that, but hey, it's an Ole Miss team. It's SEC. It's on the road. You had a chance, bad play. This is different. This is a completely different animal. You had a major lead. You scored 3 points in the second half. 3 points. Your defense gave less effort than any defense I have ever seen, especially And some of those plays in the second half, and you mentioned it, Curtis, that final nail in the coffin for Memphis was one of the most pathetic excuses of any sort of like football play I've ever seen in my life.
Drug him, bro.
Quarterback comes in, runs up the middle for 8 yards or whatever, gets stopped at the line of scrimmage by your heaviest and largest defensive lineman, as well as others, and it just goes all the way for a first down. It sums it all up. There's no like, oh, it's just this thing. Oh, it's just this thing. Oh, it's the officials. It was all bad all around, zero excuses for it. And it's gotten to the point to where there's no good graces anymore. I'm tired of trying to believe coaches and what they say. I'm tired of trying to make sense out of this. I'm tired of trying to defend anything or say, well, no, but this is good and this is that. No, everything was pathetic, awful, terrible, no good effort across the board. I know you guys are going to do your report cards. You better give every one of them Fs across the board because this is disgusting. Razorback fans deserve better. The people that made that trip deserve better. And this, again, not taking anything away from Memphis, but this is it. This is it. This is you used it all up. Any sort of good grace that you had, Sam Pittman in Arkansas, any sort of benefits you had from anybody, you used it all up pretty much last week, but especially now. It's just over. It's over. You cannot have this type of performance in this type of game, in this type of situation, and expect people to still believe that you all are the people for the job, that you all are the people. I'm not calling for anyone's job, and I'm not going to be one of these guys that says, fire him off the field now. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that this is an indicative, absolute encapsulation of the entire process and why you just can't get to that next level because you find so many incredible ways to lose games. And this was just another great example of it. Pathetic across the board, zero excuse for it. And I say I can't believe it, but I really can. I really can believe it. It went almost just picture perfect. And maybe I need to start doing a Pittman. What do you want me to do? What do you want us to say? What do you want me to do? Because I'm just so sick of it, man. I'm just so sick of that. And I try again. I'm stupid. I'm mad at myself more than anything because I actually gave this team a chance. Gave them a chance to measure up and do better in this week, and they didn't. They did worse. Because at least against Ole Miss, they were fighting from behind. They had a lead in this game, guys.
Yeah, they had a lead in this game. They definitely, Memphis was doing their part in handing this to Arkansas with some of the decisions they made. That stupid onside kick that they did for no reason. And then they, it's not like they're having any trouble picking up yards in chunks against this Arkansas defense. You get the ball back with 3 minutes left in the first half, a classic textbook. It doesn't take, a genius brain of a coach to understand the double dip opportunity you have there into the first half, start of the second half. And they try the stupid wide receiver pass and spot you another touchdown in which you promptly let them march back down and get it right back. They did everything. The quarterback couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in the first half. Like they made it easy on Arkansas in the first half. They couldn't get out of their own damn way. F for effort. I would agree with that, John. Loafing, not playing physical, not finishing tackles. That's some concerning stuff defensively. And those are things that we brought up from a standpoint of, okay, were you doing too much? Was it some scheme stuff, communication breakdown? Bullshit, man. I'm tired of hearing about that. There's very clear lack of effort and discipline on that side of the football right now. It's crazy. Talon, hey, listen, he made some great plays over the course of this game. Very, very shaky in times where it mattered most. Mike Washington was absent for the entire game. He willed the team that entire final drive. And of course, it's him that has to fumble that one there at the end. Brutal, hell of a play by the defender there, but you have to hang on to the football there. Those are the things that separate good teams from bad teams, man. That's just where you're at. And now here we are. After all this throughout the course of the week, it's like a weird victory lap for Hunter Yurachek. Like it proved right by the bullshit that he said. And I remember at the time being like, wow, this really irritates me for this football team, for these guys, because they look like they could be a pretty good team. Like we love this offense. Can they do some things? Man, that would put a chip on my shoulder. I would be setting out to prove it. We did the whole thing about use that as your own motivation. And then you come out there on Saturday and it's like, oh, well, never mind. It was a novel idea. It was a good thought, but here we are.
Yeah, I think one thing that I've been seeing asked a lot leading up to this game and even going into the Ole Miss game is why is the defense bad? Or what is it on the defense? Is it just the talent? Is it the coaching? Is it just the schematics of what they're doing? Or is it just an effort thing? Or is it just a culture thing? And a lot of people would say, hey, well, we'll see if they cleaned it up. They were better in the second half against Ole Miss, and Sam Pittman sold this idea of the communication or whatever. my response to all that is when you have a defense this bad and it's results that are, I mean, the success rate against this defense of the last 8 quarters of football, it's been insane. When you have a defense this bad and one that is likely to end up the statistical worst in the SEC, it is everything. It's not this one thing happened. This one guy got injured, and now we're the worst defense in the SEC. We're the worst Power 5 defense. That is a talent issue, and I feel like Arkansas has huge holes in the secondary, specifically at corner with Kenai Walker down, and D-line, that depth. We see that D-line getting worn down, and I'd love to even blame the D-line, but it's like, dude, they're playing. I see Cam Ball playing 60 snaps. He's like going into cardiac arrest coming off the field in second quarter. Like, this defense played a ton of snaps, and it just wasn't a sustainable way to do it, which is something we've been pointing to all offseason leading up to this year. Through 3 quarters, Memphis had 27 minutes time of possession compared to the 18 for Arkansas through 45 minutes. That had a huge impact in this game. The offense, by the way,
plays first quarter. I just wanted to add to your point there.
Unbelievable, man. And so it's like the offense, for as good as they were early in this game, the defense was out on the field a lot. I mean, even Arkansas's good moments offensively happened quick, happened explosive. Memphis just down after down, drive after drive was able to eat up yards against this offense. They ran the ball more effectively than Arkansas. They had a more dependable offense. And I'm going to give the offense, of course, we've been doing it all year that, hey, the defense is bad, but the offense is great. You can't really blame them. The offense scores 3 points in the second half, 0 in the fourth quarter. I mentioned that time of possession. They actually won the time of possession in the fourth quarter. They held the ball for a long period of time, but you have a stupid sack that takes you out of field goal range, forces you to punt. You have a fumble inside the red zone. You have a pick inside the red zone. Like, that's what losing teams do. And ultimately, we can talk about the matchups. We can talk about who to point fingers at and which player sucks and which player doesn't. This game came down to culture. This game came down to who is going to be tougher, who is going to make fewer mental mistakes. And I say fewer because Memphis had their fair share in the first half. Stupid, penalties and stupid plays that kept Arkansas in this game. This game came down to just who wanted it more. And I think anybody who was watching the effort in that first half, on the first drive of the game, you knew this Arkansas defense wasn't going to buck up in the fourth quarter, that they weren't going to get stronger as the game went on, especially with how much they were leaning on some of those guys.
1,000 yards of offense the last 2 games, and you're 0-2.
I hate that. I think that's what makes this even so much worse, guys. I know we're going to get in the chat, and we appreciate everybody because there's just a lot to dive into this, but it's not like you've been an absolute joke and there's not been anything you've been good at. It's like you become bad at the worst times of things. That's what I don't understand. It's like at the times that you don't need to be bad, you're bad. You don't need to be a team that fumbles the ball. And yet the only times that this team has fumbled the ball has been twice the past 2 games when the game's on the line. That's the only time this team has fumbled the ball, were those 2 occasions. And it's like the beginning of the game when you had that punt that was down at the 1 by Devin Bale, and then you got a penalty because you had illegal formation. I tweeted, I'm like, that right there is the indication of exactly why you're so horrible in one possession games. You think it's a nothing play because it's in the second quarter when the game's not in hand, like any of that. But imagine if that play came through and sat there and it was at the 1, and then you get a safety or something, how that changes the entire game. Like, just the little things like that make all the difference in the world. And it's like good teams overcome those things. You just find ways to be bad in the worst types of things. Your offense is cooking in the second quarter. You score 21 points. It's great. And then when you need points, you don't get any. You don't even give your kicker, who actually did make his field goal today, mind you, didn't even get a chance, give him a chance to win the game. You find ways to do incredible things. And then, guys, I know it's like didn't impact the game much in the biggest part, but like, how in the world do you have an illegal substitution with the 2-minute warning?
Exactly. It's lemon booty. It's pucker, man. When the iron's to the fire and it's crunch time and teams execute, they sink or swim. Arkansas sinks. That's all it can be, is a focus and confidence type of issue there. And it starts at the top, man. Yep. It starts at the top. How the hell does that happen? And I tweeted out fully knowing that they were going to pick up the first down but that's not the point.
Right.
The point is that kind of stuff can't happen. It's a microcosm of a much larger issue. Like Andrew, well, maybe you both said it. I don't remember who said it first. It's a culture thing. That's exactly what it is. So when he gets asked in there about another one score, like, why does this keep happening? You keep having these opportunities and you just find ways to give them up. there's the answer that you can give. Like, I hope that he actually wears it for a change in there, because it starts at the top. We can do this whole thing about, oh, you can't blame Sam Pittman, or, oh, he didn't fumble the football, or, oh, he didn't miss the kick, whatever. But that type of execution, the killer instinct, the mentality, it's all culture related at the end of the day.
Yeah, there's something to be said about you just lose to a team that's better than you. And we can have the conversation about who's actually the better football team here, of like, if they played tomorrow, would Arkansas still be favored? And I really don't even think it's worth talking about, because, again, with this Razorback team, you can't count on them to beat teams they're better than. I think you can make a strong argument. Last week, they lost to a team they were better than. Today, I don't think it's that hard of an argument. They lost to a team they were better than. And I think that is ultimately going to be kind of the shadow that hangs over this era of Razorback football. It would almost be easier for me to process if they were just bad. If it was just, hey, we played Auburn, they're way better than us, they beat us. Oh, we played Notre Dame, they're better than us, they beat us. You beat teams that, like, you can beat, that, like, we all kind of look at and we don't know how you were even expected not to beat by double digits, and you can't even count on that. And so it's like, it would be one thing if this Arkansas program were just going 6-6 every year, and it's like, oh man, we just can't quite compete with those top teams. That's not what's happening here. They are leaving success on the table. They are leaving wins on the table. The stat that everyone talks to, what is it now, 7-19? That's 2 to 3 extra wins per year. That's 3-4 wins. I mean, if you really break it out over 6 years, that's 3 wins per year. Like, and I'm not saying, hey, you should be undefeated in one-score games, but it's like, we should be able to count on you to beat teams you're better than. We should be able to count on you that when you're inside your opponent's 10-yard line with the ball, with a 1 point deficit, like, you should be able to control that, win, figure something out. Like, it sucks that week to week we have no idea what to expect from this team. And the most frustrating part about it is, like, there's so much you could look at and be like, man, it's not like they're completely inept. There's an offense there. There's a quarterback there. They can threaten other teams. So, like, I'm sure they'll F around and beat somebody, but it's like the ceiling for this program is just so low because, one, the talent level on defense is just not there, but also because, whatever the highest possible win total for this Razorback team is, they're not going to get it because they get in their way so often.
Yep. I mean, it's like an incredible thing to where the consistency of knowing that this team is going to do things like this and lose games like this in the fashion that they do. And, and then you have some things that'll pop up that make you kind of believe. And I think that's what Razorback fans just have to be so, like, exhausted from, is just because you'll see some things that make people start to believe. You'll see Taylon Green cook for 3 games. And you're like, man, I want to believe in this because this is, hey, as long as we have this guy. But then Taylon Green plays awful today. And, you want to feel good about it. But then you feel good about, okay, well, we got this big lead and we're doing these great things. But then they come back on you. And you're like, oh, man, well, we're done. But then you start driving again. Mike Wash, you finally get the run game. You're like, okay, we're back. And then they just take it from you again. It's this complete, like, pulling you and shoving you and all over the place. That's just, it's so exhausting. And the fact that it happens time and time again. And guys, I know that this is something that is so unfortunate in so many ways, but you didn't even get to play a second game in Fayetteville before the season's over. Like, you didn't even get to play a second game in your home stadium, or the season is washed. And that is just pathetic. I mean, that's pathetic. And I mean, again, I don't really know what else to say other than that. It's just, I mean, fans, you have a right to be upset. You have a right to be pissed. You have a right to want change. You have a right for everything. And you're not going to hear any arguments from me or anything, because you have every right to be as pissed off as you are. So
it's brutal, man. Brutal. Every pathway to, exceeding expectations, or even, meeting the bare minimum of a bowl, like, whatever. So much was predicated on this stretch that Arkansas is in right here. And they're over in those 2 opportunities. Like, for all the people who love the shtick of, 4-8 or 8-4, they all said that because of literally these 2 games right here that Arkansas is just pissed away. And so it doesn't tell you where the writing is at on the wall. I don't know what does. Very, very frustrating deal. It sucks that you've got, Notre Dame coming into town next week, which should just be such an awesome thing. And they stink and you stink. Like, of course, it reminds me of when College Game Day finally came to Arkansas for that basketball game. And it was when Arkansas sucked and Kentucky was just all right. And just, man, we just can't have nice things, boys.
It just sucks because this is just going to add to the list. I mean, you look at that 2021 season and you say, oh man, but I mean, that Ole Miss game came down to a 2-point conversion, and Bama was a 1-score game, and man, you turn that around, they're 10-2. 2022, I mean, the Liberty game was close, and they had that weird LSU game. You only lose by 3. If that goes our way, it's a completely different season. And as a Hog fan, you can go down there year by year and you can find those games of, oh man, we were just a play or two away. If you flip those, we're good. But after 6 years of every single season having that same story, it's really hard to sell me on this argument of how this was some great team that just quite didn't get there. It's like, I think at some point you just are who you are. And I think that's the realization we've all come to at our different stages. What's funny about this is it's hard to contextualize because there's a lot of fans that knew Arkansas was going to suck, that were just like, I don't see any path to winning 6 games. And I remember us talking in the offseason, we were like, man, that's crazy. Even as haterish as we are, we were like, if you don't see a path to 6 games, like that's crazy, because clearly they can win games. They could have beat Memphis. They could have beat Ole Miss. And then you had some that didn't see a path to them doing anything worse than 8-4. And so they're stunned by this as well. Like, oh man, it turns out we suck. And then there's this special small group that we fall into where we just kind of looked at it and saw some red flags, thought the offense would be good enough to kind of get them to that 5 or 6 win range. And who knows, maybe the defense will be better than we think and they'll win 7 or 8. And here we are, like you said, John, it's week 4, and it's not even 3 p.m. on week 4, and we are already having a conversation of, like, is there another win left on the schedule? And we can have that conversation later, but it just sucks to be back here, man, and it sucks to get here in unique ways.
Yeah, we can have that conversation. We got to fill the air somehow next week with.
I mean, yeah, we will.
Yes, we will. Yeah, we will. And we'll get to your chats, folks. I promise. This will be the last thing I say before we do. What I'm sick of is getting bullied by a group of 5 teams at Arkansas.
Truly.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the amount. I don't know if Arkansas's lost to more group of 5 teams than any other Power 5 team. I don't know. But it seems like they have. And in my eyes, they have. Because I can remember, like under Pittman, I don't know what, because I know we lost to Liberty. That was awful. And then you lose, of course, this one to Memphis. But even in the games that you won a lot of times, like UAB last year, you looked like crap. You think back to when you played Bobby Petrino in Missouri State. You should have lost that game. Like you have been bullied by a group of 5 teams or non-Power 5 teams every single year. And to me, this is not something you can come out and just say, oh, NIL, oh, pay, oh, nope, none of that. There's nothing about it. Because I'll tell you this, Memphis did not play incredible. They did so many stupid things that they're probably in that locker room being like, man, guys, I don't know how we won that game. We did dumb things. We went for an onside kick and didn't get it. We did this reverse or wide receiver pass thing that got picked. We did all this dumb crap and we still won that game. Jeez, it shows you how bad Arkansas truly is when we, who should have less talent and should not be able to be in one of those games, did all the stupid stuff we did and we still found a way to win.
That quarterback left at least 20 points on the board. And I know by the way, we can't even do the bit about the pass interference call because that was horseshit. Like, we can agree, but like, we can't even do that bit because Memphis, to your point, left a ton of points on the board. They handed Arkansas points as well.
Yeah. Bro, Memphis rushed for 290 yards in this football game.
They hadn't even done
listen, and respect to Memphis as a program, whatever, but that can't happen, bro. 290 rushing yards.
Nope. Can't happen.
Grief. 7.1 yards per carry. What are we doing?
You had two
players against a quarterback who's 50% completion. You can't throw. You barely have to worry about him.
You gave up you have 2 rushers that had over 100 yards in this game for Memphis. 2, the quarterback as well as Smith.
Guys, I have good news though. I know there's a lot of misery and it's a sad time. The vibes are low, but we do have our first call for the backup. Play KJ. That's what it is. That's what we need to do. Is this sucked? But let's play the redshirt freshman quarterback. That'll fix it.
Oh, jeez, man. Well, I tell you what. I know we're going to get to your chats, folks, because there's a lot of them and odd reactions. But you know what? As bad as everything is, what's not bad is OZK Insurance, because we partnered with them. They partnered with us, and the reason being is because hey, we're the best in the game, just like they are, and they want to be a part of the best. You want to be the part of the best when it comes to your insurance. So get it with OZK Insurance. They make our insurance simple again because as a 100% independent agency, they shop the entire marketplace to deliver the best combination of cost and coverage, saving you both time and money. Whether it's home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, or commercial insurance, their friendly team has access to a wide range of flexible options designed just for you, and they serve Northwest Arkansas and Central Arkansas and beyond. So let OZK Insurance be the trusted advisor you never knew you needed. Start today with a free online quote at ozkinsurance.com or call 479-715-4200. That's 479-715-4200. It's OZK Insurance, protection made simple. Again, we're here on the Inside Arkansas Football post-game show and presented by BetSaracen. You know, guys, I gave up the second game for Arkansas's or John Calipari's fantasy camp to watch this crap. So that's another thing that's on me. But either way, let's go ahead and get into your chats, folks, because there's a lot of them. And to be honest, there's so many, we may just have to do super chats today, folks. I know that sounds bad, but hey, if you're going to pay for a chat, you're going to get paid for it to get read. So we'll start with our guy, Dre, because he gave us a nice big one. Thank you, Dre. Appreciate the fantasy camp invite as well. He says, since 2020, we now have 18 one-score losses. I'm not a mathematician, guys, but I feel like that's about 3 one-score losses a year, averaging, something like that.
What do you want me to do with that?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, what do you want him to say? You know?
Hey, y'all want to know a fun fact? I actually remember my first Sam Pittman loss that pissed me off. Because you remember 2020, if you remember, they could have went like 2-8 that year going into the year, and we would have had to be okay with it because there was no expectations. But then they had beaten Mississippi State, beaten Ole Miss, and they lose a one-score game to LSU when I think Arkansas only had like 5 D linemen healthy for the game. And I remember being like, damn, they really shouldn't have lost that game. That's the first time that Sam Pittman lost a game that I'm mad at him. Because I wasn't mad at the Auburn game. I wasn't mad at the Georgia game. They lost that LSU game, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. The honeymoon's over. I can now be upset about losses.
Yeah, which I don't blame you because, I mean, it's everybody's got that one. Let's see. You got Spade TV says Pittman can go ahead and clean out his desk this evening. So appreciate the super chat. Go ahead, Curtis.
I don't even know what to say, man. I don't think that's going to happen. Like based on some of the things that we were hearing throughout the course of the week and all that, but maybe people need to reevaluate after a game like this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like sitting here and calling for anybody's job. I know everybody's pissed off in the moment and everything like that. There are a lot of things that you have to consider when you do something like this, but this is ridiculous. The way it's gone down the last 2 weeks here. I mean, come on, man. You add into the optics of everything that was said at the touchdown club. This is a disaster. And going into the game, I think we even said it, Andrew, on the pregame show about how I just didn't get the sense going into this game that this was about to fall off the cliff. Like the train was about to go off the tracks with this season and everything. I thought, yeah, hey, defense is really bad. We knew that. Hey, whatever. Lane Kiffin's really good, but I don't know. It's not like they got their ass kicked like they did last year in this game. But then you turn around and have something like this happen, and now everything's like anything's on the table for me personally. I don't make the decisions here. I know a lot of people are going to be calling for that. I don't know, man.
I know we have unlimited. Like our future is we're going to have this exact conversation every single day for the next, I'd say 8 weeks at the minimum. You know what I mean? Like it's just how it's going to be. So I don't want to get too deep into this because I know we're going to do this. I will just remind you guys as a refresher, we didn't come right out and say, the three of us last year at the end of the year, hey, they should fire Sam Pittman. But after that Missouri game ended the way it did, we kind of were like, hey, if there were a world where you could maybe do a restructuring, there's no college coaches in the SEC that are fired. So like you could get whatever you wanted. This might be the ideal time to do it. The university decided not to do it. And so once they did that, okay, we stopped talking about it. And we were like, all right, we're just going to move forward. We'll run it back with Pittman. We'll give him another year. Cool. We moved on. We really did stop having that conversation because we tried to be respectful. But now here we are. And so we're going to keep having this conversation. But if you think that you need to like sell us on the idea that a change might be needed, like I promise you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And my whole thing is like, I'm not saying that I'm not calling for anyone's job to be fired right now, but if it did happen, I'm not going to sit here and just be like, oh, what are we doing here? This is bad. You know,
right.
Like
That's why I'm not doing that either, John.
Yeah.
I wanted to make that clear. That like, we're just like it's not like we're like sitting here like, well, Pittman, boy. And it's like, no, we're ready to see how this thing plays out.
Yeah, definitely. Exclusive cards. Appreciate the super chat. He goes 7-19 in one possession games now. He's in over his head, doesn't even know what to do. Defense let a backup quarterback carry our heaviest player across to the line again. Time for Pitt to go. One possession games are on coaching. Which you know what, exclusive. That's the thing that I can't remember when I kind of black out when I rant, but one of the things that really just showed is like talent, whatever. It was effort, man. That there's zero. That's not something you can excuse or say NIL. Nope, effort. Because if you gave effort on half the plays that we saw today that you didn't give any effort on, you win this game. But you didn't. You didn't. You let a backup quarterback that's probably 200 pounds carry a 400-pound man.
Hey, he was a big donkey, wasn't he?
I mean, yeah, he was. Just,
but he was carrying a pretty big donkey.
Oh yeah, yes. It's crazy, man. And by the way, just because I say I don't think it's going to happen, I just don't think that they're going to fire him tomorrow morning or something. Listen, for the last 2 years at different points, we've been talking about whether or not he should still have a job as the head football coach at the University of Arkansas. I just look at it from a standpoint of everything Hunter said this week. Like, you've already given him the out for this year. You guys have been on this pedestal so long talking about, well, we just got to wait for rev share. We got to wait for this. We got to wait for that. And then you come right out and say that your team's not in position to compete at the highest level. So why the hell would Hunter, who would be making that decision, why would he crash out after this one and then let you go? So unless it's just like some crazy deal where everybody gets taught, that's why I don't think it's going to happen necessarily.
Yeah.
And I agree with your sentiment, Curtis, which is why everyone's like, oh, well, why won't y'all call for his job? It's like, we did that before. I'll do it now. Hey, they should fire him. But it's like, what do you think is going to it's not going to happen. And so we'll keep having the conversation. And listen, maybe they will. Maybe, there's obviously times that make you reevaluate. This would probably fall under that category. So I won't rule anything out, but I don't know. I feel like we're going to repeat this stance a lot of, yeah, they should fire him, but what are you going to do?
Yeah. It's just, you got to wait to see plays out. I think, and again, I think Hunter would go before Pittman would, just to be honest. I think that they would make that move first before, but I don't know. I really don't.
By the way, and I know we're going to get into this all next week, but Curtis, to your point, I feel like if I'm Hunter Yurchek, I'm firing Sam to help my case. You know what I mean? To be well, you can't take us both out. Sam has been able to fire his OC or his O-line coach, or maybe he's going to fire his DC this year. It's like, if he can get scapegoats, shouldn't Hunter Yurchek get a scapegoat of oh yeah, I fired Pittman. Oh, we cleaned up the issue. We cleaned up the communication in the back end. We're good now. Well,
the fly in the serum there is that he wants out himself, so he doesn't want that that get out of jail free card to stick around.
All right. Just appreciate everybody. We appreciate everyone tuning in, all the super chats. There's so many of them. We appreciate it. Dre says, can Cal coach football too? Well, you know what? Maybe. Does Cal have a brother that's just like him that maybe could coach football and stuff?
Once upon a time, we were wondering if Eric Musselman would do a better job with the Arkansas football team than Sam Pittman. And now he's dressing up and, looking like a kicker or something in USC gear every day, running around in empty stadiums. I don't know if we want to wish that on Cal. It was downhill from there for Muss.
He at least got the team in on it. Did you see his video today, Curtis?
I did. Yeah.
It's pretty good today.
Shout out to our guy, Bobby Bones. Oh, Bobby. Appreciate you, Bobby. He says, I'm in an abusive relationship with Arkansas football. Help me.
Bobby, dude, I remember when we were talking to Bobby last year going into the Oklahoma State game, and he was dreading it. It was like he had a colonoscopy on Saturday, and I felt so sad for him. And I was like, man, you should be excited to watch your team play. I'm sorry, Bobby. You should not be excited to watch your team play.
Not anymore.
We need our separate hotline as Razorback fans to cope with this sometimes. I mean, it's tough. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, you need maybe that's one. I'll try to figure out maybe some new sponsorships or some good therapists around here or something to help some Razorback fans out, because holy crap, man. We all need it. We all need it. But we're with you there, Bobby. Shout out to, I think, Mia. We'll go with it.
Yeah.
Appreciate Super Chat. Goes, watching Arkansas sports is a mental illness. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if it's a mental, because it's a choice. It's not like it's a choice you do, but it's a choice that you put hope in, but it just continues just to kick you in the balls time and time again, just nonstop. So
it is you just can't convince me that there isn't some kind of evil script. It's one thing to lose games or, heartbreak. It happens to everybody, but the way it happens to Arkansas, it's just unbelievable, man. The back-to-back weeks of game-winning drives and fumbles. I mean, what the hell, man? Does this happen anywhere? Does it really happen anywhere else? I don't think it does.
Well, real quick, I want to just read a couple of these tweets from these are college football people, have no connection to Arkansas. Josh Pate, don't say curses aren't real until you've watched Arkansas football. Brandon Marcello, he actually just put up a stat there, which is another great stat. It says that's Arkansas' 6th loss when scoring 30-plus points since 2023. 6. Aaron Torres, no matter how bad you think your favorite school's luck is, Arkansas is worse. I promise you it's worse. Clay Travis even says, Arkansas, man, I don't even know what to say. Razorback fans have to be tough as nails because the way Arkansas loses in pretty much every sport is unprecedented. So I don't think it happens everywhere, Curtis, when people are making these comments, man.
This is brutal, man.
Just brutal. It's golly. All right, we'll move through some of the more of these. Razorback says, fire everyone. It's over. Give me Gruden. Very quick to the point. So I feel you. Landon Jackson, not that Landon Jackson, but he says, all right, I've tried for years to support Pittman. I get he didn't fumble it, but someone has to take blame for this. Another news, we're less than 2 weeks from prime time at the Palace. That's true. That is true. But that's the thing too. Is like, he didn't fumble it, but again, it's the little things. It's the penalties. It's the decisions. It comes back to the head coach. Ultimately, it's up to the head coach.
Well, I was just gonna say, after last week's loss, a lot of people were doing the whole thing about like, oh man, Curtis wins basketball, bro. Give me Cal. Can't wait for basketball season. Wake me up when it's time. And I was telling everybody after that Ole Miss game, like, not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm as excited as anybody about basketball season. Can't wait, but there's still a lot of football left to be played here. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Wake me up when it's basketball season, bro.
As the fifth child in a family of 5, I have 4 siblings. It's like if you have 5 children and one gets in trouble at school because he was talking back to the teacher, and you could kind of look at it and you'd say, well, that teacher kind of has it out to get him. She's kind of an asshole anyway. Is that really in and of itself that big of a deal? No. And then you have one that decided to skip school, and you're like, well, is it really that big of a deal? 15-year-old kid wanted to take a day off, whatever. Not a big deal. But when you keep adding it, and then all of your children turn out to be delinquents, it's like, maybe you're just a bad father. Like, I know that it's not your fault that your kid went to school and said something stupid, and your kid, got in trouble in this really humiliating way. It's not necessarily in and of itself your fault, that thing. But when it's a consistent theme, I just don't know why we're supposed to point the blame anywhere else. Like, there's no more, you can't turn around and be like, no, it's the guy behind me. No, it's like, there's no one else to blame at this point when it's a collective, like we said, a culture issue.
Yeah, that's right. We'll continue to get to your chat, folks. Want to remind everybody, though, you're probably going to need something to drink after that game and after that thing that you witnessed. So head over to our friends over at Goat Lab Red. They're in Fayetteville because they got plenty of booze for you to help you drink your sorrows away and try to recover from this type of loss that Arkansas has, where they got their Goat Lab brews like Razorback, Tusk Light. It's right there at 1214 North Garland Avenue. You not only get some of the best brews, but some of the best burgers around, and you're going to need them. So check them out today. They're open, and you can go there for lunch as well, because every day during the week, during lunchtime, you'll see Inside Arkansas Live, playing live there each and every day. So go check them out again. They have the great beer that you need. Not only that for Goat Lab Red in Fayetteville, but also the Goat Lab Brewery up in Lowell. It's Goat Lab Red on 1214 North Garland. Your new game day tradition. And with the traditions and the way things are going, you're going to start need to booze up a little bit more these days. All right, let's see. Our guy Hayden just says, Hunter, you're checking Sam gone by 6 p.m. CST. Well, I thought you're very specific on that. Just like 6 p.m.
You think they would compete with WrestlePalooza? No.
Come on. Yeah, they're going to have to do a news dump for that at some point in time. Let's see. And trying to work through all these folks. Our guy Ace says, does anyone know how big the deficit is between our NIL and Memphis?
Well, Memphis is allegedly one of the biggest spenders of G5 teams in NIL. And if Arkansas is one of the non-biggest spenders in Power 5, maybe it's pretty close. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Shame.
Yeah, well, that's, because Hunter, you did say they could compete in the SEC. He did not say they could compete in the AAC. There's a big difference, guys. So, got to remember that.
Shout out to Hogs Plus, by the way.
Did they?
Well, Pinto tweeted at him. He was like, drop some basketball content now, please. And they responded to him and said, Carter Knox Hog Pod coming Monday.
Goodness gracious. By the way, I heard there's technical difficulties with the Sam Pittman press conference.
Great.
I actually was going to ask you guys. I did not get any email for the Zoom link, so I was thinking maybe they didn't send it. But if you've sent them or if you've seen it, then I guess we'll wait on that. But can't wait to hear that one. Let's see. Arkansas, appreciate you. It's been saying for 15 months now. I don't understand why Sam Pittman is the coach of this team. What is the plan? Terrible decisions, no leadership, no accountability, perennially mid. What are we doing? I mean, that's what we're trying to talk about, my man, right now. We're trying to figure it all out for you and for everybody. Spectre Stream says, well, gents, I think that did it for me. It's good to see you, Spectre Streams. He says, until there's some serious change in the coaching staff and the AD take football seriously, I'm not going to support them with any more of my money. Well, we appreciate you giving your money to us as in support.
Yes, thank you.
Do you now that I guess this kind of reminds me, because everyone kind of has that moment where you realize or where you do officially give up. I don't know if we view our fandom that way, but I think this will be the biggest singular moment in the Pittman era where it was like unanimously this was the turning point for everyone. Of course, you could look at the Liberty game. You could look. There's some games back there that you could really point to. That 7-3 Mississippi State game was maybe a big one. I think this now is going to be the number one driver of the day he lost the fan base, and it's tough that it comes Monday when his AD also lost the fan base.
Yeah, this was just a bad combination of a week for both things to happen. I mean,
would not recommend doing this. If you're in charge of an organization, I would not have the two most important people pee on themselves on national television back-to-back weeks.
No, not at all. Our guy Chris, appreciate it, says it's just Arkansas, always ahead in football and basketball until the final 9 minutes and then blow it. Doesn't matter the score, coach, sport, or year. It's been the same story since Nolan's last years. Man.
There is a very large discrepancy between accomplishments, I would say, between the football and basketball programs.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd lump those together, but I'm still feeling the sting of that.
The Texas Tech game was tough. I'll give you that. That was a brutal way to end the year. I wouldn't say that's been the story of Arkansas basketball since the Nolan era. Is every year they blow it to end the year. They did it in the most recent season. Fair, but it's not been the story of the program.
Not only that, but what? You've been to 4 Sweet 16s of the last 5 years, 2 Elite Eights, and really only in one of those games, which was this past year, was you blew a lead. All the other games, you just got beat. So, football's on its own island, folks. We are not lumping any other sport. It's off limits. We're not allowing that. No other sports are allowed to be talked about and discussed as far as any failures or anything except for football today. Let's see. Jason says, what will it take for you guys to call it just his job? What will it take? Well, I'll just speak
to go in a time machine and go back 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, I called for his job after they went 4-8 2 years ago, my guy.
Yeah.
We did all last year, I mean, what?
Well, I think I get what you're saying, Jason, because I know you're wanting somebody like us to be able to have the voice of saying he needs to go right now. And it's like, this is the thing. It's like, I felt the same way after 4-8. I felt the same way after last year. But it's more about we are not in control of that. And we've basically said to this extent, hey, we're not sitting here saying he needs to be fired right now, because that's not just our thing. But if he does, if we got a notification on Twitter that said Sam Pittman's been fired, we're not going to sit here and be like, oh, I don't like this at all. I don't like this. We get it. We'll completely be understanding of it. So it's just a matter of this is bad. This is all bad. And this is how it's going to come to an end, is things like this. So that's what happened today.
Half the reason they won't let us in the damn door over there is because we've been transparent about all this nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to yell at anybody for not saying it with their chest, this ain't the place to go. Go to a different post-game show if you want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, did you just tune in? I mean, dang.
Also to let's see, STL 17, shout St. Louis, says, is Pittman's win-loss under 500 now? Could we fire him for half off the ultimate blue light special? I don't know.
He was a game under going into the year, right? Or was he a game over?
I think it was a game over. Actually,
probably,
no, he may have been,
because that would have cut his buyout down a lot.
Yeah,
if he was under, right?
Yes. Wouldn't that be funny if they were just waiting for him to get that clip under and then they fire him?
I mean, listen, I've heard crazier things before, and so if that's the criteria, I think they can probably get there.
Yeah. Shout out to Scott Harrington. I'm sorry if you had a different chat in there, but we appreciate the super chat. Kind of got convoluted there. We've had a lot of people watching, which we appreciate. Be sure to subscribe, folks, to Inside Arkansas while you're in here. Like the video, like the stream for us. We'd appreciate it. Casey says, appreciate the super chat. This has got to be the worst non-conference loss in Sam Pittman history. I think the only one that beats this one was the Colorado State game under Chad Morris. Boy, it's sad that we have ones to choose from. That's what really makes it crappy, is that we have multiple choices here. But I mean, as far as that goes, maybe, because I think this is worse than Liberty.
Yeah.
Because at least with the Liberty game, you were able to not excuse it, but say, the KJ wasn't healthy and, that. It's like, no, there was no excuse for this. None of it.
When that team went to a bowl game, you know what I mean? Where it's like that team, that was like at the end of the year, they had already won some games. Like that season wasn't ruined. This one is a loss that you feel like ruins the season.
Hate it here. Let's see. Just so many things, so many bad stuff. Chase, our guy Chase White says, the way basketball ended, baseball ended, now this, how much more can we take? As much as you can, my man. This is the way it goes. But again, basketball and baseball, you can't use those. I know those suck. Trust me, they were rough, but at least you're in it. It wasn't after game 4. Like it wasn't like it just, you were like right there in the cusp of postseason play and like far into it. At least you were there. This is like, you didn't even make it out of the gates and it's already over with. You haven't even played a second game in Fayetteville and the season's over with. I mean, that's what sucks. Like they need to give money back to some of these season ticket holders. I'm telling you. All right. Shout out to Steven. Appreciate it. Says alternate universe. Sam is fired. Bobby's interim. Who do you hire in the offseason? I mean, geez, I just like, dude, I don't know. Like this is going to be conversations we're going to have later, but until it happens, it's like, there's no point in talking about it. Like if they fired Pittman and they made Bobby an interim, okay, let's start doing it. But right now it's just, we don't know. And that probably won't even happen. At least not at this point in time. So we'll see. Man, again, trying to go through all of these. Arkansas also says fans have to fight back at this point. That was unacceptable. Fans have to boycott until the real changes are made. I mean, that's your choice, but
what's going to be tough is there's like a lot of fans who spent several $100s on tickets to that Notre Dame game that they could probably get on StubHub for $55 Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can not show up to the game, but it's like, you already spent your $500. Like it ain't gonna matter.
Yeah. Ben, appreciate the super chat. I'm sure he had something else to say, but appreciate it either way. Razorback says Story and Dix are pathetic. Why is Shaw not playing more? I will say Xavier Story, I don't know if he's hurt or what, but that was awful. That was awful.
He did not play well. Did not play well at all today. It felt like a lot of missed opportunities, missed tackles. Wasn't as physical as he normally is. Wasn't flying around. I saw Steven Dix with a couple opportunities in open space where he was just kind of like molasses out there. It's weird. It's very weird because that was the thing that we thought for sure we could rely on on that defense. I know Story had the hamstring thing during camp. Is that still lingering? I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's very noticeable out there that so far they're not the guys that they were last season.
And they just look slow, man. And
Very
again,
slow.
like, you know,
And
maybe it is just an
Memphis,
injury thing, but they look slow. And I think the thing that jumped out, the effort all around. And for those two particular guys that, I mean, this Arkansas defense was constructed with those two guys being sideline to sideline tacklers that go run down everything. When you have them like openly quitting on some plays, and D linemen, you know, maybe they get more of a pass because they have to play a lot. But it's like, I even see Cam Ball and Ian Gerard like just kind of jogging behind a ball carrier. And I'm like, man, it's like when you start seeing that this early in the year, that's the type of stuff you start seeing when you're quitting on your team and you've got an interim coach in mid-November. That's not stuff you see week 3, week 4.
Yeah. Also, too, guys, like I felt like if they were going to look like that, it was going to be at the start of the game because of an 11 a.m. kick and coming off that loss. I felt like if by the way they started, I'm like, all right, this team's focused in, ready to roll. And obviously not. Ben just says, don't let Sam back on the plane. Appreciate your super chat. Razorback says the AAC refs need to be investigated for that DPI, OPI. Again, not saying that this is the reason why Arkansas lost the game, but there were some pretty egregious calls not made in this game by the official. Like that touchdown before the half was one of the worst calls I've ever seen.
I hate talking about officiating. Like I really do. I kind of almost like push back whenever people talk about it as like a huge narrative in the game. And I'm certainly not going to make that. This game is way bigger than that. But yeah, that was a tough call that had a big impact. And what's crazy is in the moment, I still, even in that moment, was like, it's not going to matter. I mean, it was 28-10 at that moment. Who would have thought that Arkansas was just going to not score the rest of the game?
Seriously. David says the only way to get them fired is stop going to games, hit them in the only place they care about, their pockets. I'm done. Well, as I said, that's your prerogative, and I'll be sending a message, but I still feel like there'll be a lot of people, maybe not as much, but there'll still be a lot of people there on Saturday for Notre Dame because it's the Notre Dame game, but no one's going to be happy about it. Little Joker says same script, different episode. Very much true. Indeed. Very much true. Tamara, our gal Tamara says, let's just throw up. Nothing good happened in this game. Embarrassing, humiliating, and no hope. Zero excuses. Fire Pittman and Hunter Yurchek. We are done, says Tamara. So feel you on that one. Yep.
This is a live reaction. Let it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're here for it. As long as you
y'all want to make myself throw up on stream?
Yeah, well, let's not do that.
No, okay.
Yeah, $500 super chat to throw up.
Space. My bad. Sorry.
$500 super chat to throw up on the live stream. So just start drive heaving. All right. So, and I'm just going to read this one from Navy Mike because we appreciate all the names. And I remember Navy Mike. He's like, I told you about Sam Pittman 3 years ago, bro. This is what Navy Mike does. He doesn't say anything. And then like he says, he's always like very negative when he's right, comes back, but when he's wrong, he never says it. So, but thanks for all the money you just gave me, Navy Mike. I appreciate it.
I love that anyone thinks they could have it like a gotcha moment where it's like, you thought Sam Pittman wouldn't lose a 1-score game in a stupid situation like this. It's like, no, we kind of knew this was possible. We just didn't think it would happen today. It's like, yeah, I think people think that we're like way more stunned than we are.
Yeah. Exclusive Carts, appreciate it. Says time to turn the jukebox off. Yeah. Bobby Bones again, just wanted to give us a couple bucks. Let us know. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby's in a bad shape. Everyone send your T's and P's to Bobby. That's thoughts and prayers, not other things. Let's see. Aiden says, I feel unclean after that. Yeah, we thought the live stream video game was bad.
Hey, that is the silver lining, though, John. Our live stream video game is a way better season than this one.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What was the final in that live stream video game? Was it close to what this was?
28-26 or something? Is that
28-26? Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty close to it. Let's see. Also, Little Rock 2517 says Pittman for first team all defensive water boy. Okay, sure. Westside Jacoby says, in the history of college football, has a team ever fumbled the ball inside the 25-yard line on the last drive in consecutive weeks? Only Arkansas. Man, I can't think. I
can't imagine. Not in a situation like this.
I mean, it's just, and again, to not even fumble the entire game. Like, that's the first one both times. And am I wrong, guys? Are those the only 2 fumbles they have all year? I know Taylor's thrown picks, but I feel like that might be the only 2 fumbles on the season.
Maybe. At least they got 1 turnover of their own today.
Yeah, there's that.
Hell of a play. A little get back from Julian Neal there.
Yes. Yeah, that was one of the few little random highlights you had. That was a great play.
Yeah.
Carts, appreciate you all. Again, we'll get to all these super chats, folks. It says Pittman on the sidelines, all wide-eyed, saying, what do you want me to do? He also says, how many teams would hire Pitt if he was let go? That tells you everything you need to know. Kelku also says, love y'all, but there's a tear in my beer. Cheers, guys.
Oh,
yeah. Appreciate you, Kelku. They've bought quite a few of our Pot at the Palace and Bombastic shirts here lately. So shout out to Kelku for doing that. So,
appreciate that.
Hatch just says, this is the exact reason I quit giving my money to football. Well,
I don't think you're alone, honestly.
Let's say you're ahead of the game. Compared a lot. David just says, everybody get ready to finish this year 1-7. Yeah, I can't find any wins right now. Super chat, but shout out to former Hog baseball player Matt Goodhart. He just says, if you predicted less than 6 wins this year, you're out to lunch. Be realistic, LOL. Wow.
That would be more than 6 wins, by the way.
More than 6 wins. Sorry, more than 6 wins. I was about to say, I was like, I don't know about that, but okay.
Well, the good news is nobody on this panel did. Right?
True. That is true. Did any of us pick them to lose to Memphis? I have to go back and look.
No.
Okay.
Trey Biddy did. I know that.
Oh. Trey did. Yeah.
He had him losing to Memphis and then beating Notre Dame. Was that it?
No. Oh.
Or maybe
beating Ole Miss. He had him beating Ole Miss and losing to Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, football expert, my rear end. Trey Biddy, get out of here. What does he know?
Nailed it.
STL 17, been a member for 4 months. Appreciate it. He just says, pop a gummy and forget about it. It doesn't get better. Great advice. Great advice. Oh my goodness, folks. We really appreciate all these super chats. They just keep piling in and try to keep getting all of them. No, I already read that one. Michael Carter says, do the boosters commit the dollars for the buyout in NIL? Is it the money guys that can make the decision? It's always the money guys.
It is.
That's when you fire your coach and pay a big buyout, because we always cite buyout numbers and we're like, oh, this guy's buyout's 40 million. This guy's 80 million. This guy's 10 million. Which one would we pay? It's like when you get enough pissed off rich people to go to the university and say, we will foot this bill, and who knows what that number has to be, but we've seen schools pay. I mean, literally, I think Ed Orgeron's was like way up there. Jimbo Fisher, what was his, like 70, 80? I know Arkansas doesn't do that, but it's like, honestly, I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about the buyout. It's not a conversation for us to have, because to the point, it's like it's going to be just pissed off rich people saying we've had enough.
Yeah.
And we'll fund a new coach, by the way. That's another part of it. You can pay the buyout. It's not that hard to pay a buyout, but then you got to pay a new coach and probably have to up his salary.
Yeah.
By the way, I was just going to say, because I see some people asking about the press conference. I know you had the update just a second ago, Andrew, but our buddy Tyler Cash just tweeted out and he said, just got out of the post-game press conference, no service of any kind in the room. So it happened, but we'll never hear about it.
It happened. Did it exist? Did it exist?
Yeah,
Okay.
Stay tuned for it to get uploaded from the SEC media portal or whatever, so people can watch it. But
6:45 p.m. tonight, y'all see that one go up.
I do have it Oh, okay. No, wait, that's the preview. What is today? 20th, right? Okay, no, that's the preview. So I got the portal, refreshing it as much as possible whenever it happens. So I'll keep everybody updated on that. Shoot, we may just have to do it like a live reaction to it. Just upload the whole thing and react to it on a live stream because there may be some good stuff in there. I don't know.
That's probably a better accountability session than what we're getting ready to do.
It's true. That's true. We'll continue to get to your chats, folks. You can appreciate it, but we also appreciate Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas for being one of our sponsors here. You know what? The Razorbacks fans may not make you happy, but you know what does make you happy? Whenever your house is lit up for the holiday season, that always makes you happy. And they do a great job. They're the professionals in the business, not only for Halloween, but for Christmas. And if you are in the Northwest Arkansas River Valley, be sure to have Walter Christmas Lighting help you out because they provide all the materials, any color, any pattern that you want. They install the lights themselves. And of course, they give you that free maintenance. And if these strands go out or anything like that, they're going to hook you up. And also, if you get your Halloween lights, you get the Christmas lights for 50% off. It's that simple. And we're going to be doing a giveaway starting next week here on Inside Arkansas for a chance to get a free Halloween light setup from Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas. So give our guy Brett a text today for a free estimate at 479-459-1380. That's 479-459-1380. It's Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas, your local holiday lighting experts, to which Curtis got lighting up.
I was about to say, whoever wins that giveaway, it'll be your house versus my house. And we'll let the people vote to decide which is the better from Walter Christmas Lighting. Yeah. We're really excited about it. It looks cool. And I do love it because we do have some decorations in our neighborhood already, but not a whole bunch by way of lights. And I'm like kind of at the top of the hill. And I was like 2-3 blocks away from my house as the sun was setting last night. And I was looking, and I was like, oh, that big, bright red and orange glow. That's Casa Wilkerson, man. Felt good. Looks really good. They did a hell of a job. Appreciate those guys.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. So yeah, be sure to give them sure to hit them up. Let's see. Also, a girl, Tamara, also says, my heart is going to basketball. I've never given up on an Arkansas team, but I'm done with this football stuff. Let's go basketball Hogs. So
we welcome you with open arms.
That's right. That's right. They're going to be ready before you know it. Papa Dragon says, how about that Carson Brumbaugh, though?
John, that is a potentially the starting shortstop for the Arkansas Razorbacks on the diamond this year. Stud freshman, guest of the Bombastic podcast, and he's been lighting it up. I can't wait to watch him play tomorrow. They had to cancel today's scrimmage. I was hoping to turn this press conference into a scrimmage recap, but they're doing a doubleheader tomorrow instead, so we'll just have to wait for another day. Yeah.
Also, I just want to give a real quick shout out our girl Brandy, who her husband listens to your podcast, Andrew, up that we met up in Omaha. She said, she's messaged me. She's like, you should see the Razorback Facebook ticket exchange.
Oh, goodness.
Apparently it's just gone off the rails.
I've got these upper deck tickets. I'm selling them for $500. Who wants them?
Yeah, that's all it is. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to check that out as soon as possible too. Let's see. Also, Joe says, serious question. Would we have gone to the college football playoff in the last 5 years with Danny Hurley as our coach? Just let him CEO like Pittman.
Fascinating here.
I mean,
probably not, but I don't want to sell the man short.
Yeah, he would yell at you if you said otherwise. So I'm going to say yes. Yeah, they would have done it.
Yeah, it's a great what if question. Phil just gifted one Inside Arkansas membership. It's appreciated. Whoever got gifted that. Trey just gave a super chat. Appreciate you, Trey, as always. Eli says, I say this as sober as it gets. If that's the last Razorback football game I will watch until the reset button is hit. I can't do this anymore. I am not going to be upset with any Razorback fan that does not go to games or does not watch the games anymore or whatever, just as long as you watch us. That's the only thing.
Yeah, put the bag on your head while you watch us.
That's right. That's right. And if you want updates, we'll give you the updates, but you just come hang out with us and you watch us instead and constantly. That's all we ask. Lane News says 3 years in a row, lose to an inferior non-conference opponents after blowing a lead to our Arkansas's border, Liberty, Oklahoma State, and Memphis. That's true. It's true. That's what pretty much sucks about it all.
Although I guess the Liberty was 2022. In 2023, they lost to BYU, so I guess you could say 4 years in a row, because I don't know if they blew a lead in that one, but I feel like they did.
Yeah, I always assume they did, because that's usually just what happens. Cat John Nice says, zero way BP would have put up with half team loafing.
What do you mean he wouldn't have? He was there on the sideline. What are you talking about? He was literally just there. He just watched it happen. Now, you cannot blame – I understand why we're not going to blame the OC for the defensive effort, but, like, I don't know why this is a thing where we're like, oh, but not Bobby and Talon. They can never be blamed. It's like, dude,
Yeah, they
the
just
whole
scored
locker
3
room
points
just
in the
after
second
watching their
half.
teammates quit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Arkansas says, I'll never forget when half the fan base thought Sam Pittman would retire before his buyout bump. Yeah, that's true. Steven says, I already read that one, actually. Casey says, I curse my kids by raising them Razorback fans.
Yeah, I've got a couple Razorback onesies I've got to burn tonight. So
Wesley's had a rough go of it, bro. It's been a rough start to his existence as a Hawk fan.
He was fussy the whole game too, and I should have just known.
He's sick of it, bro. He's like, Curtis. He's like, Dad, stop making me watch this bullshit.
It's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal. Poor kid. I don't know if he watched it. He might have finally just pissed himself off to sleep and missed the end of that. Hopefully, but I
think every Razorback fan would have rather done that themselves too. Just piss themselves and go to sleep instead. Jordan says, curious is the rumor that Petrino can't be head coach, keeping Sam his job. Time to hang the Spirit Halloween banner at Donald W. Reynolds. No, there's not any truth to that rumor. That's not a thing. See, Hickory Hog, appreciate it. Says, I'm tired of the national media pitying us. I don't want to be the smartest kid in special ed. Jeez, let's go break some damn rules and get a better football team. Yeah,
that's facts right there.
That's a good point. Steven says, swap Gundy for Sam. No. That's terrible. Like, yeah, that's between Gundy, Pittman, and Dabo. I think all of them are basically going to be donezo by the end of their seasons, respectively. Yeah. Chris says, Arkansas's basketball record since 2000, 205 wins, 220 losses. We all know Arkansas football. No point in listing it. I don't know what the point of that was, but okay. Thank you. Let's see. Kai Marone says, fact remains that the guru in the booth scored a total of 6 points in 60 minutes of second halves in the offense. If the offense is even half as productive in the second half as first, both losses are wins in spite of defense.
Yes, if the offense was perfect, Arkansas would be undefeated right now.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the defense, I get it.
Yeah.
Today was rough though. They had some bad moments today. The offense did. Talon had some flashbacks to some of the things that plagued him at times when he was inconsistent last year. He made some big plays, but boy, both of those interceptions, especially the second one, yikes, brother. Big yikes.
Yeah. So that is what he got. Yeah, he got lucky on the first time he threw, and then the very next one,
it was like the play after, or 2 plays after that, and then up until that last possession there with Mike Washington, they really struggled to run the football with their running backs. Outside of Braylon had like 4 for 47, they wouldn't give him the damn football. But Mike Washington, what did he have at one point? It was like 7 carries for 12 yards before he got that last drive there. So I don't know, man. Tough sledding.
Oh gosh, appreciate it, Tanner. I don't know what you have anything to say, but appreciate it. Those band geeks, remember for 1 month, says pain, just pain. Feel you, dude. Feel you. Tanner says, I guess what this is follow up. Says, do you guys, your check has it in him to make a midseason change? I feel like he's too nice and close to Pittman to make an actual business decision. I know I think this is probably before we really went into it, but yeah, I mean, I'm with Curtis. Like, I don't think it's going to happen just because if it didn't happen last year and it just seems like they're kind of tied at the hip, no pun intended, but like,
and to me, unless he is not given a choice in the matter, I don't see it happening now, right now.
Yeah. Unless some like one of the big money makers says, hey, this happens now, Doug McMillan comes in and just is like, it's time. And, sends the bat signal up, then let's see. Also, Isaac, love the Vancouver Grizzlies logo. He says Tigers are likely a playoff team. Will look good. Okay, go home.
Put that $1.99 in the swear jar.
Scott Harrington, maybe we could trade Pittman for Gundy. Stop. What is this Gundy stuff? Like, did you guys not? What are you talking about?
I don't think Gundy's high on the board right now.
No.
Is it 10 years ago? What are we doing?
Yeah. I have no idea. Chris says that was SEC records specifically where cursed. Ignore me. I have Arkansas PTSD. Gotcha.
Oh, I see. I was going to ask about basketball. I was like, really? They're under 500 in the last? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, and also they only played 500 games in 25 years.
I mean, they had Mr. Over 500 as the head coach. There's no way that would be true.
Yeah. But I was just not in the mood to argue numbers of things I would have to go look up of something that's not even the sport we're talking about right now. So I was like, yeah, we'll save that one, but appreciate it. Casey says, today is National String Cheese Day. Somebody must have told Travis Williams prior to the game. Oof. If that's actually true, that actually is a pretty good little joke there.
If Arkansas Hedge has any more scheduled tweets about that speaker, they got to delete those before they go out.
Dude,
you You can't do it, man.
Arkansas took so many more L's this week on things. Like, I keep forgetting about the stupid speaker. Yeah,
I can't stop
because everyone else is doing it, but Arkansas is the one that's getting made fun of for doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's also just like random too. And I would love if they would just, you know what, they'd actually get me to buy a speaker if they tweeted out. They're like, hey, we're sorry. Go ahead and text, or go ahead and text if you need a refund, and we'll give it to you. We're sorry. Just you can give us the speaker back. I would respect him for it. Coach Botch says BP first half masterclass, second half absolute trash. Yeah, I mean, offense was not good. It was not good.
We just got a email from the U of A, and it says, due to lack of internet capabilities, today's post-game Zoom will not be available. Like, it's not, they didn't even record it, and they're not even going to upload it for us.
Wow.
So hopefully some news station there with a camera will be able to get it up eventually. Otherwise, it's going to go into the abyss. We'll never know how Sam Pittman felt about this game.
I don't buy that, dude. I do not buy that. What are you going to do? Like, you don't need internet to use your camera. Like, when do they ever use their internet for that? Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm gonna have to give a Tyler Cass. Be like, hey, bro, just give us the cliff notes on what went down in there. Jeez.
Hey, Johnny, a lot of people care. They've been asking about it. You chotch bag.
Oh, I didn't see what. Oh, jeez. Kelko just says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Walmart McKenna. I meant to bring it." Says, "Sorry for giving you all the bleep for predicting the season to be the same. We live in a simulation." Yeah, well.
Our predictions seem optimistic right now, honestly.
Yeah, they do.
I didn't predict them to lose to Memphis.
Yeah. Kelku also says, such a disrespectful way to celebrate. Where's Brandon Burlesworth today? Happy heavenly birth. Oh, his birth. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I was like, did I miss a celebration for that? Okay. Yes. King Blee says, who's ready for basketball? I think a lot of people, honestly. A lot of people. Stellar Matt says, looks like Inside Arkansas making more money than me after the game. Hashtag chat go hard. Hey, we appreciate it. You know, we're going to do it no matter what, but we do appreciate y'all, helping out the cause and providing us with some ability to give you guys some therapy and some talking sessions for it. But we appreciate your support. Wesley says, I have tried to keep a level head about this. I love listening to you guys and Trey to bring me back to earth a bit. Unfortunately, guys, I think it's time to seek greener pastures. Tough day.
Best of luck, my friend.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans are feeling that way. Goodness gracious, there's so many. Silver Sober Ninja. We have explosive offense and quarterback plus offensive coordinator, but our head coach would be a great O-line fit coach or a fit at O-line coach in Jonesboro. That's rough. Jeffrey says, hire the guy at Syracuse. Sure. All right. We'll throw his name into the hat. We'll make a list for you.
I thought they were hiring Dabo.
Yeah. Those Dino Babers. I know what you're saying, Andrew, but that's all I was thinking was Dino. Jafra, BHS, battered hog syndrome. It's apparently a thing. Casey says, LOL Curtis. He says he's burning the onesies is incredible.
They got to go, man.
Yeah.
I love them, but they got to go.
Witty
gave us one. My dad got us a couple. It's no disrespect, but I mean, something's got to happen.
But the pot at the palace one stays, right?
It does. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Right.
He's got to grow into that one just a little bit.
Yeah. I'll see. I'm glad I got that not too small, and then you could never wear it. So
and he's like already in that stage with half of the things that he owns. So
always get big. Always buy big if you're buying baby stuff.
That's right. My friend Devin, he's been on this, guys. He says, appreciate the super chat. He says, please discuss the fumble being overturned without clear and obvious recovery. The super chat sponsored by the Memphis Live money line at the half.
So I would have to go back and really watch. I thought that when I watched it initially that, they knocked it out and it was like right afterwards that a guy fell right on it. Is that not what happened?
That's what I thought too.
Looked very clear to me. I saw the first replay, then I got up and walked in here to the office because it seemed pretty clear.
Yeah.
Also, they have kind of extended the leeway on, obviously they're not going to let 10 seconds go by, but if it's 3 or 4 seconds, they will usually let that roll. So that's kind of, you can argue there of like, when should they cut it off? But I didn't see any problem with it in the moment. I'd have to go back and watch.
Yeah. I think Devin's just mad and he's throwing a fit. Dre, appreciate you guys. First the Epstein list, now the post-game interview. Yeah, it's true. Both of them just up and disappeared. Probably in the same spot. Mr. Wood says SEC quarterback's going to put up video game stats against us. Yeah, man. man.
Yeah, it could have been worse, man. It could have, if you had an even semi-accurate quarterback back there that was able to hit on some of those, it could have gotten ugly defensively.
Nobody's calling for Ryan Silverfield.
Yeah,
like we've heard about the Gruden. People want Mike Gundy, Dabo. We haven't seen anything for the guy.
Did you like his pregame speech, Curtis? The do your job with focus, and it was good.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's fine. It was fine. That was my interpretation as well. I'm glad we agree.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Turner. I didn't get your chat, but appreciate your super chat. Grant says, I was at the North Texas game and this is just as bad. I don't want to start comparing things. Let's not compare bad stuff, because it's just going to make it worse for me, but appreciate it. What he just says, cold blooded. I assume he's talking about what Curtis saying he's burning the onesie that went along with it. So yeah, that is tough. Oh gosh, guys. That was all the super chats. We appreciate it. I know there's so many chats, folks, but again, there was just so many. We could be sitting here all night reading them all. So we just had to kind of get to just the super chats today. So we still got more coming in.
Still rolling in.
I know. Give me Alex Golesh is what Jason says. Casey says it doesn't matter who we hire. We don't have enough donator to compete even ever, apparently. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm sure that'll just be the case forever, and we should never try to change that.
Yeah, because what's the point in trying to do things better and trying to get better? What's the point of that? Oh, guys, I mean, any final thoughts on this? Any things that we've left out? Any final words of encouragement or anything?
No, because I know that I've still got to talk about this for like 2 more hours before I can move on. So no, I've got nothing.
My final thoughts are, I've seen a few people in the chat asking, like, do we even care about the rest of the season? What do we even, should we even do anything? I just hope that you guys continue to care about the rest of the season. And I know you're hurt, and I know you're going to say, well, I don't. Yeah, you do care. You do care. You care about the pig, even though the pig hurts you. I just hope you still care enough to consume our content and hang out with us as we continue to process this, because we're going to still get kicked in the nuts every week. So you got to be there to experience it with us, and this will bond us together, and we can grow from it. But don't give up on us, even if you have given up on the pig.
That's right. Yeah, and just subscribe to us here at Inside Arkansas, because we're going to keep talking about it. And if any major changes or any updates happen, we'll be right here. We'll be going live. We'll be on top of it all to discuss it. So we're here to help you out. And if you want to just unload all of your feelings, rant and rave, you can do it. It's up to you of how you want to do it. But we still got to have a lot of good stuff to come when it comes to the content and try to make sense out of this whole thing called Razorback football. But whether it's the accountability report, the report card, which I can't wait to see what that ends up looking like, as well as the Razorback devotional, still going to be going strong right here at Inside Arkansas. So be sure to subscribe to us here. We appreciate it. Be sure to like the video and the stream. We appreciate all of you, all your chats, all of your super chats, especially. Those were really kind, especially since it was such a bad situation. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining us here at Inside Arkansas, and that'll do it for us. For Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, intern Cameron, I'm John Neighbors. Same sports show, same sports channel. Later on today. We'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day.